This is Crime Cruise, Love Boat Exposed. Saturday on the Love Boat. The podcast that hunts down and tears apart shenanigans on this classic TV show.
I see an awful lot of bodies who really have nothing to be ashamed of.
When laws, morals, and behavior go rogue.
She's a student of marine biology, and I know a lot of Marines who like to study her biology.
We are there.
Saturday on the Love Boat, Julia's game to join an all-male club, but she's shocked at the things they ask her to do.
Now, from Studio 109, welcome aboard.
I think it's time you and I got to know each other better. A man is very lonely at sea.
Yes, I can imagine.
Thank you, Captain Stubing. I'm Rob Springer. We're here with Charlotte Jones and producer Caleb for another episode of Crime Cruise Love Boat Exposed.
High seas and low morals.
That's right, high seas, low morals.
Very low morals.
You love to hear it.
Okay, so we have a continuation of last week's episode.
Yes.
Producer Caleb, explain, please. What did we see that's going to be continued on this week's episode?
Well, we see a very daring heist trying to steal this very lovely and large diamond.
Right.
We see a blind lady fall in love with a former blind man. And we see these very rich couples just fall back in love.
I'm very interested to see how someone becomes a former blind man.
I was wondering about that.
I'm very
myself.
curious, yeah. I mean, I know it's TV and like made up and like stuff, but like I'm curious about this.
I think he got surgery. I think that's what the
Oh,
explanation was.
surgery. They had that in the 70s, you guys. They had reversal blindness surgery in the 70s. They don't have it now.
No, they don't. Although
They lost it. They lost the
They lost the technology.
There is a rumor out there that
rumor.
Stevie Wonder is not really blind.
I have heard that
Get
rumor.
the F out of here.
No, it's a rumor.
I've heard that rumor.
You guys, you're talking like freaking, that's crazy.
All right, well, I mean, I'm just trying to stay on topic.
Okay.
Okay, well, how would you explain our little show, Love Boat Exposed, Charlotte?
Well, I would explain it as three of us coming from very different perspectives, watching the show and trying to figure out what the F is going on with all these crazy people.
Right, and what we're seeing is a lot of shenanigans, as the announcer said.
Shenanigans, yes. And
Tomfoolery.
tomfoolery, as
my
Caleb.
God.
Oh, God, we
And
just jinxed
hijinks.
each other.
Wow.
Wow.
And double jigs. Oh, geez.
Oh, God.
Well, what we know is this. There was a lot of immoral and illegal happenings on the Love Boat that were just laughed at, literally laughed at. You can hear it in the laugh track. But we're here to really call it for what it is.
Exactly.
We also laugh at it too.
We also,
Oh,
for
we
sure.
laugh. We laugh hard.
Yeah,
We
hard.
throw our heads back and we laugh the laugh of a mad
We do,
man.
yes.
And mad woman. Well, that said, I'm looking at the screen and the audience is listening. And what are we looking at? What are we going to hear?
The first scene that we've got pulled up is the blind story. The lady who is currently blind is out on the deck with the man who was formerly blind.
All right. Well, let's see.
Let's see
where
what
this
happens.
goes.
They're kissing.
Jenny,
Oh, Steve, would it help if I say it doesn't have to be forever? I know you have your sight now. Why should you be saddled with the blind?
come on. That's a terrible thing to say.
It's true, isn't it?
No. Jenny. I love you.
Now there's a coincidence.
But
But
Always the butt.
it
Always.
has to do with Puerto Vallarta, doesn't it?
Always with Puerto
She
Vallarta.
rolled the R. Did you hear that?
You're seeing a girl there.
Right of
I'm engaged to her.
No.
What?
That was before this happened.
Steve? This never happened.
So was he in love with her before he could see?
What was that?
Well, my question is like, was he in love with her when he was blind? And now that like he can see, does he not love the girl in Puerto Vallarta anymore? Like, what did she look like?
I'm confused too.
So
Yeah.
from memory, from the last
memory,
episode,
here we go.
Part one, because this is part two. They went to blind school together, and I think they fell in love there, or she had feelings for him, but he didn't have feelings for her. And then, because I remember she went blind, he was already blind. Now he's not blind, and now she is.
Oh God, what a tangled web we weave. What
Right.
is going on?
And
I'm
then,
baffled.
but yeah, now he's engaged to a woman, but he's fallen for the blind lady.
So you said in part 1. Did
Yes.
we see this plot line? Did we hear this plot line in last week's show? Or?
If we didn't, then it was just me. But I might have explained it.
So now you pull us into your sick world.
I do.
Twisted.
Yeah,
Right,
I'm a twisted man.
Well, I guess it's worth it because, I mean, where else are you going to find this illogic of a guy that was in love with someone until he was not blind anymore and then he switched being in love?
Well, probably because he was able to see what the girl in Puerto Vallarta looked like.
I wonder if maybe it was Charo, too.
Maybe it was, dude, but Charo's hot though. I mean,
Yes, I mean, sure.
well, I mean, you know, in like a way.
Yeah, coochie kind
In a
of way.
coochie kind of way. Yeah, exactly. Totally.
Well, all right, I'm looking at Blind Girl, the continuation
Yes.
of the story.
Yeah, the
Okay.
next clip is the blind girl again. I think we should just jump into it.
She's on the deck. Contemplative. Sad.
She puts down a rose on the table.
She does play
This is pre-Bachelor, by the way.
blind very well, yes. Does she walk right off the edge of the...
That would be a sight.
Or not a sight.
Oh, it'd be horrible.
The rich man is walking over. And he just steals the
He just
rose.
steals a
He
rose.
just stole from a blind person.
What was it? That's rough stuff. Yeah,
That is rough stuff. Like, why would he do that?
I don't see the purpose or the
But she left
point.
the rose for a reason. Right?
I don't know. I mean, I guess. Listen, I guess she left the rose because love has passed her by. Love has gone beyond where she's able to be, and the rose is meaningless to her, I guess. But this rich guy just kind of walks by and just plucks it right up.
Typical.
Where's that going?
Typical of a rich guy to take something from a female.
From a blind female.
Well, any female.
That's double worse.
Any female.
That's double worse now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well,
Okay.
is this the same story we're going to hear next?
Still blind lady. She's reading a book. Well,
And she's in bed.
feeling a book.
And it looks like somebody's about to come. She's feeling a book. And it looks like somebody's about to come through the door. It's Desi Arnaz Jr.,
Yes, it is.
formerly blind.
Why did you come back?
I broke my engagement to that girl.
Whoa.
It's amazing.
You made a mistake.
The only mistake I made was getting engaged to her in the first place.
You're crazy. You could have a normal, happy marriage with that girl.
What makes you think that marrying a girl who can see guarantees a happy marriage? How come millions of couples with 20/20 vision get divorces?
Exactly.
I like the logic.
Besides, I love you.
I believe him. I believe him.
I totally believe him.
I don't love you.
I don't believe her.
I don't either. She loves him.
I like you very much. But I don't love you.
Jenny,
Goodbye, Steve.
Wow. He just got rid of his fiance.
He's opening the door,
Nope, he's not leaving.
pretending he leaves.
Oh,
What a dick.
I knew you loved me.
That's a cheap trick.
It is a cheap trick, Desi Arnaz
Yeah.
Jr.
Wow.
And I would like to bring up something totally off topic.
All right, hit us.
They just showed us the room that they're staying in.
Yes.
If I was on a cruise, do not give me a single bed. You know what I'm saying? If I'm paying for a cruise, I better have a fucking queen size bed.
sure.
What? I mean, why are they in single beds?
On the Love Boat, you shouldn't have a single bed.
No, you should
That's all
never
I'm
have a
saying.
single bed.
No,
No. Like, what was that about?
Maybe it's like the cheap option, like
Ugh.
I don't know,
No.
third class on the Titanic.
Well, you mentioned we're not calling the character by his name on the Love Boat, but that is Desi Arnaz Jr., son
of
of
course.
Desi Arnaz, of course, and Lucille Ball.
Yep. Another redhead that was fabulous.
Yeah, she was. She was. Iconic. even.
Yes, iconic.
And the female, the blind woman is played by Stephanie Zimbalist, who was on Remington Steele with Pierce Brosnan.
Oh.
And she's the daughter of Ephraim Zimbalist Jr., who was on FBI. Used to be an old, her dad was a movie star, TV star.
Well, she's a beautiful girl.
She's a pretty girl.
Yeah.
Well, here we go. We're going to roll.
Can I just bring up the fact that I
please.
don't like the fact that he played a trick on her because he knew that he could, because he knew that she couldn't see, so he pretended to shut the door just to see what her reaction would be. Like, that is kind of a cheap trick.
She did say that, and it was.
I also think that he didn't really understand where she was coming from when she was like, you could have had a happy marriage. And he was like, well, what do you mean? Only how people who can see have a happy marriage? Blind people can't have a happy marriage? Like, dude, you missed the point. That's not what she was trying to say, dude.
Yeah, it was like over his head.
Most people that can see don't have happy marriages. Most people can see, don't have, it's
There's
a
the
thing.
answer, guys.
Yeah, that's the
If you want a
answer.
happy marriage, just be blind.
Just shut your eyes all the time.
Well, we're not seeing on this episode anything that's outright illegal stuff or
No, but like, why
harassment.
can't she go to the same doctor that he went to?
Great question. I don't know.
Like,
Caleb?
where is this doctor? Okay,
and
I'm just saying, like,
a
why can't
miracle
she have the
sort
same
of surgery is
surgery?
what it
Yeah,
sounds
I mean, it is TV, but like, miracles happen.
They do. Well,
Yeah.
hopefully a miracle will happen.
I would love a miracle.
Let's see what happens next.
Don't do that.
Rich guy and the lady are having a fun bath.
Oh, a fun bath. Is there any other kind of bath?
Oh, the jewel thieves from the previous episode.
They're in the vents above their cabin.
Fernando Lamas and John Schock. Two big character actors from the 70s. So they're gonna drop a rope outside.
Very Mission Impossible right here.
It is.
There's jewels
Where's-
everywhere. They see them.
where's-
They see them.
There's the diamond.
He almost slipped, so the audience laughed. They're letting him down through the ductwork.
Now it's your turn.
Now it's your turn.
What was that?
My heart.
Gopher is making out. It's a distraction that the bad guys put into play so they could steal the diamond.
They have the diamond.
He grabbed the diamond. He's putting a fake version of it in its place.
He falls and he drops both diamonds.
Your turn to look for the soul.
Well, this would be a strange thing for people to just hear. And we're looking at this, and it's even hard to tell what's happening. But how would you explain it, Charlotte?
Well, I would explain it as like, how the F do you not know the difference between a fake and a real diamond?
Good point.
As a professional jewelry thief.
Right.
So like, why would you even have to like, you just literally put it in your mouth and chomp on it.
Yeah, doesn't make sense.
Right? It doesn't make sense. But I do want to bring up the fact that like that girl is still, what was her name? The girlfriend
Her
or
name
the
was Taffy. on
right.
the
So
show.
she's still being pimped out by the people that are trying to steal things.
And I think
Because she's making out with Gopher. God bless her soul.
God, and that was all the giggling.
That was, I mean,
That was not the giggling. The giggling were the rich couple in the bath having a joyous old
a
time.
joyous old time in the bathtub.
Okay, well, I'm thoroughly confused by all these happening.
We're going to have to bring it all back to center.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, it looks like there's only one clip left.
Okay,
There
let's
is.
figure it out.
See where this goes.
Let's see where this goes.
Well, are you all set for the masquerade party? Mm-hmm.
The
What are
two
you
designers.
I'm going as Marie
Sure.
Antoinette. Let him eat cake.
This was the mistress
Maybe
and
I'll
the
go with
wife
There, yes,
Let
it
'em eat their
was.
hearts out.
from the last episode.
You need a lighter? Wait a minute. I think I've got one in here somewhere.
The wife doesn't know
Oh,
that
is
the
that
husband's
you?
sleeping with the mistress.
The
Yes,
wife's
it is
looking at
you.
a Polaroid of the mistress and the husband.
Oh
it
my
fell
God.
out of her pocketbook.
Oh my goodness.
And my husband.
She sees her friend, mistress, has a photograph
And that's
that shows her and her husband, and now the cat's out of the bag.
The cat's
cat's
totally out of the bag.
It's
But
like,
I kind of feel, look, I want to say something. I kind of feel bad for the mistress in a little bit of a way because like she was really having sort of fond feelings towards the wife. Like she really like sort of respected her and sort of like respected what her job was and what she did. And I think she wanted to be your friend. And then, but obviously that's not going to happen now.
They were really liking each other.
They were.
Like newfound friends.
Exactly. But now the wife knows the gig is up.
My God. Yeah, it's over.
It's over.
And now the gig is up. The friendship is up.
Yep.
The wife storms away from the table. The mistress, played by Adrienne Barbeau, is feeling really shitty. You could see that.
Of course.
Well, okay, we're at the...
But my thing is also like, why would you keep that photograph in your purse?
That's a good point.
Great question.
I mean, I know this is like pre-social media and stuff, but like I wouldn't keep a Polaroid in my purse of me and my person, and you know what I mean? Like you just like fly out somewhere. Like I'm more low key than that.
Right, and it did fly.
Like I would have that
be
shit
a little more sneaky.
a little.
right?
I'm way more sneaky than that stuff.
And the photograph flew right out of her purse.
Flew right out, of course.
Into the wife's hands.
Of course, absolutely.
And now it explodes. Producer Caleb, it looks like this is the last clip, and we're only like maybe 15, 16 minutes into the show. It's making me think, why don't we just roll the next episode into this?
Let's just roll the next episode.
Would you like to know how this ends, though?
I would love to know how this ends.
In mystery.
Does the next episode not continue the story?
It does not. This is the
please.
end of
What happens to the jewel thieves? What happens to the blind couple? What happens to the mistress and wife?
Yeah, so the jewel thieves, they picked up the fake.
Of course they did.
And then at the very end of the episode, it turns out that both of them were fake. And the rich people were like, oh, our real diamond, it's in a safe back home. We would never bring a real thing here.
Of course you wouldn't. That's what I said at the beginning of last episode. You would never travel with your diamonds like that.
I heard you say it.
I know, I did say it.
I remember it. The rich couple who hated each other, they weren't really happy. They're happy now. It wasn't really much of a woohoo thing. It was very like, oh, we found out that instead of buying your love, we can love each other without money. Shocker, right?
Right.
Who would have thought?
Shocker.
And then the blind episode also ends in love. He just basically love bombs her, sends her a bunch of flowers.
That's also known as narcissism, by the way. Just so everyone that's listening knows, love bombing equals narcissism.
Love bombing, love boat.
Love bombing, love boat.
He broke her down.
Basically.
And she was made to love him.
He broke her down.
And then they fall in love. And I don't know. I could just be making this up.
Right.
But at the very end, the audio kind of chopped down, so I didn't know what happened. But the rich people kind of come over to the blind people. And I want to assume that the rich people are going to pay for her eye surgery so she could see.
I love this idea. Let's just all assume that.
I think let's run with that. Let's run with that.
Let's run with the fact that they both can see in the future.
Ooh, wouldn't it be great, a twist, if she got the eye surgery, she could see, and then she thinks he looks like such a jerk off.
But he doesn't look like a jerk off. He's Desi Arnaz Jr.
Yeah, he looks like a good, handsome man.
I mean, he's half Lucille Ball, half Desi Arnaz. How can he be a jerk off?
Well, I mean, she's not seen him, so maybe she doesn't like that kind of look.
But I thought, you're right.
But let's back up. I'm going to leave it optimistically and happy in that they both now see each other fully, clearly, cleanly, and they stay in love and get married.
That's what we're going to run with.
I love that Sunday.
They even die together within minutes of each
Within
other.
minutes, yes. A Titanic
in
situation.
each other's arms.
Hugging each other like the couple in the Titanic and the bottom of the thing that just cradle each other when the waves are coming down. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, we're not saying that the love boat crashes and that's the kind of how it ends, but
God, the love boat, does it ever crash?
I don't know, but there is a storm. I heard a commercial for one of the later episodes.
Oh, there's a
the love boat finds a storm on the open seas. Will they live? Will they die?
Well, let me tell you right now, I would not trust that fucking captain to get me through a storm for nothing.
I would not trust that doctor.
Anybody on that ship.
True. I didn't see much of Julie in this episode.
No, she kind of just comforted the blind lady. That's kind of all she did.
She may have been in rehab during this episode.
That's a few years later, but could be maybe she's secretly taking some time off.
We'll be right back with more Love Boat Exposed. Go to loveboatexposed.com to send us a message, leave a voicemail, or learn more about the show and our team. Who knows? You might just be invited to the captain's table.
It's a pleasure to welcome you aboard. I'm speaking for my entire crew.
All right. Well, we are back with the second half of our show, and we're going to roll into Love Boat Season 1, Episode 17.
I can't believe we're at 17.
I know.
Crazy.
So much time.
Doing so well. And we haven't even scratched the surface because there's like, what, 30 seasons, 20,000 episodes?
Yeah.
It just keeps going into the 80s, and they address very serious episodes.
It's like the Rolling Stones. It never
Very
stops.
much so.
They just keep going.
Okay, producer Caleb, do you have any kind of thing you want to tell us before we roll episode 17 clips?
This one's potentially another bad one. Another doozy.
Doozy.
We've got a political storyline. We have a beauty pageant storyline, and one that I can't think about because it's probably not important.
Okay.
It probably is important, but I'm just blanking.
Producer Caleb is a tease. Well, I'm looking at the screen, just for our audience that's not viewing this, and I think I'm seeing Dick Van Patten from 8 is Enough and a number of other shows. Another 70s TV figure, and he usually plays a dad. So let's just see where this plot line goes.
I'm ready.
From this episode 17, season 1 of The Love Boat.
Robin Brandt.
Oh, Miss Brandt. Yes, you're in room 108 on the promenade deck. That's right up these stairs and to the right.
Thank you.
Smith. Jim Smith.
Yes, Mr. Smith. You're in cabin 116 on the promenade deck. That's right up those stairs.
Thank you.
You'd think he'd come up with something a little more imaginative than Smith.
Pardon me?
J.P. Whitcomb, the congressman?
You mean the one
The
who...
one whose wife is divorcing him because of the chorus girl.
The chorus girl.
The House of Representatives is considering impeaching him.
Yeah, his wife's throwing him out of the house, and the house is throwing him out of the house.
Well, I think this is very apropos that we're talking about impeachment.
Yes, as it turns out, that was Vicki Lawrence from a Carol Burnett show.
It was, and she's also a redhead. Yeah.
Mama's Family, too.
Yeah, totally.
And again, Dick Van Patten, who was on a number of shows.
And again, where is the security when people are checking in?
I don't know. Everyone's giving everybody's information
Out and just standing behind each other, finding out who's in what cabin and what room number. And like, oh, you think he would have used a different name? He's right beside me.
Could you say that any louder? Like,
I know, right?
Well, I'll tell you what, producer Caleb, as I look
tell me
down
something.
at the list of cast on this show, I don't know how many clips you've pulled, or it really is dependent upon how many wrong things are happening. But Maureen McCormick, Marcia Brady is on this episode. I'm not sure if we're going to see her in any of these clips. Bobby Sherman,
Marsha.
a big singer from back in the day who was very popular. He was almost like David Cassidy, Sean Cassidy type back in the 70s. Charlotte's like
Little Partridge Family action. I know what you're talking about.
Very much like that. Well, let's roll this.
Okay.
And see what our next storyline is.
The other models are inside, but you are by far the most beautiful.
Bartender Isaac.
Models. Sweetheart, I'm here to work on my doctorate. I'm not a piece of cheesecake.
You tell him.
Like you, she don't like me, but lucky for us, there's other fish in the sea.
Oh, Scatman Crothers.
could you say that like sexual harassment any louder?
No, you could not.
She literally is behind your shoulder, and he's just like, well, right. And
then he like manhandled her because he just assumed she was a model. Like, that's okay.
One quick question though.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why?
Why are you going on a cruise to study for your doctorate?
No one does that, Caleb. That was totally a line.
No,
she's literally not there to study for her doctorate.
Maybe you could clear your
Spoiler
head
alert.
like you can't in your own apartment.
That's what most strippers say. I'm studying for my doctorate. I'm in law school.
Spoiler alert, she actually is. Spoilers.
She is a stripper?
No, she's like studying for a doctorate.
Oh, okay.
So spoiler alert, yeah.
Oh, you're spoiling. Okay. What we saw was bartender Isaac jump onto and pretty much grope a passenger who he finds really attractive, and just he's all over, and the ship hasn't even really left the port.
No, and she just got there.
Right.
And he like is manhandling her.
This is rough stuff.
Yeah, you've seen
Look,
nothing yet.
Just because you're pretty does not give people the right to just feel like they can touch you or own you or all those things. I feel bad for her.
But in the 70s it did.
Oh, right. Guys, I feel like in
And in the
2023 it's also
and in
very
the
true.
50s. Okay, the other person in this scene was Scatman Crothers, another iconic character actor from the 70s. Older black dude, and he was the one that you heard kind of, riffing with Isaac as the scene ended. Scatman Crothers was in The Shining.
I love.
Do you remember The Shining?
Oh, fuck
remember
yeah,
he was
of
he
course.
also had The Shining.
Yes.
And he was trying to get Danny to understand his.
Look, I'm going to tell you right now. I love scary movies.
Yes.
I love horror.
Yes.
But I will tell you now, Shining and The Conjuring are the two scariest movies I've ever seen in my life. They affected me on a psychological, fundamental level. I was like, what is happening?
Very memorable.
Like
especially when
Red
you're young.
Rum. Oh, God.
Did you see the sequel to The Shining, The Dr. Sleep?
Of course I saw. Not only did I see it, I read the book.
That's
What did you think? Okay, I didn't read the book. What did you think?
I read
of the
all the
movie?
books. The book was the movie was actually very similar to the book because I will be a very big critic. Like The Horse Whisperer and the movie sucked because there was no absolute. It didn't end the same way. It was terrible. But Dr. Sleep was like pretty on point.
excellent.
It was really on point. And I mean, I kind of wish I hadn't read 880 pages of Dr. Sleep. I should have just watched the
how
movie.
long that was?
880 pages.
Wow. Stephen King was just.
Oh, he was on a ripper that
couldn't
night.
sleep.
He couldn't. I understand that. He could not sleep that night, and he was just kept going.
He was just reffing. Just
No,
going.
Dr. Sleep is one of the best books I've read in a long time.
I didn't read the book again, saw the movie. I thought it was fantastic, an underrated movie. Not enough people saw it.
Not enough people saw
which
it.
was
If you have not seen it, watch it.
Absolutely great advice to
Great
those that
advice.
have seen The Shining, the classic Shining from the 70s. See Dr. Sleep, which was directed by Mike Flanagan.
It has Ewan McGregor in it. He plays the lead character. It's wonderful.
He plays Danny as now as an adult.
Oh, it's brilliant. Have you seen it, Caleb?
I don't watch horror movies, so no, I haven't.
So you've not seen The Shining either?
I have not seen.
Would you like to read the book? Do you read books?
I do read
about
books.
scary books. Okay, well
Yeah.
then read the book. It's I'm
I'll
going to
be
buy
reading
it
it.
for you. Now I know what to do on Amazon. I'm going to do it right now.
And I'll say this last thing about Dr. Sleep, if anyone hasn't seen it, and it might still be on HBO or Max or whatever they're called.
Dude,
the
we have
channel,
streaming. You can just look that shit up and
Absolutely.
just cast it to your TV.
Well said. Well
Yeah,
said.
it's
Strongly.
2023.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Charlie.
One of the things about that movie is this. Stephen King hated, it's been said forever, he hated Stanley Kubrick's version of his book,
did.
The Shining. It was changed. Kubrick took many liberties with it. King has always been an outspoken critic of that film. So director Mike Flanagan, who takes on King's book, Dr. Sleep, pays tribute to both the version of Kubrick's Shining and Stephen King's Shining. Made Stephen King very happy in the end.
And you know what? There's nothing better in this life than making Stephen King happy. Because let me tell you, that motherfucker is vocal on Twitter, and he will literally tell you if you fuck up. Like,
That's true.
And he's still on Twitter. He hasn't given it up.
I don't know, because I stopped Twitter.
Okay.
That's healthy. That's a healthy thing to do.
I stopped it after all the bullshit.
Well, okay, I'm going to just continue with one final chapter on the saga of Shining and Dr. Sleep.
Let's do it.
If Dr. Sleep had done better, which it did not do, not enough people cared to see it, there was the continuation of the series of this universe of The Shining. They were going to do Scatman Crothers' original character that we just saw in the Love Boat, and he was going to have his story go backwards from when he was in World War II and the time that passed and when he was a boy and found out he had The Shining before he met Danny and before...
So now we're never going to see it because
We
no one
never
went
will.
to see Dr.
That's
Sleep?
exactly right.
Can everyone please download Dr. Sleep so that maybe we can have like this other storyline? Like I would like to see it.
When
Or
I
listen.
see Scatman Crothers on the Love Boat, I'm thinking Shining.
I hear you. If I saw the twins on the Love Boat, I would also think The Shining. You know what I'm saying? If I saw those
Absolutely.
little bitches out there in the little doll dresses, I'd be like, what is happening?
And Scatman Crothers on The Shining, his character was Halloran. And the movie was going to be called Halloran. We won't
Then you
see
know what
that.
we're doing? Our next project, we're making the movie Halloran.
We're making Halloran.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm behind it.
Okay, thank
Producer
you.
Caleb, you're not a fan of horror.
I mean, I'll act.
But he'll do it. He'll
I'll do
act in it. He
I'll
just
do
doesn't want to watch it. He'll
Nah.
die in it.
Yeah.
He just doesn't want to watch it.
Nah.
Okay, well, let's roll. I forgot what this is episode 17.
I don't have any idea
Here
what
we
the
go.
hell's going on.
If our judges are ready,
and
I see that they are, we
here.
will begin
Wow.
by showing you some of the
It's a
cruisewear
beauty
designed
contest.
especially for our shops on board by Carita of California, modeled by our 5 lovely ladies.
Oh, there's
First,
Marcia Brady.
Miss Alma Hodges, 19. A sophomore at Oklahoma A&M, she's studying veterinary medicine. You lucky dogs. Next, Miss Teresa Chen, 21, from San Francisco.
Of course, the Asian is from San Francisco.
She's a student of marine biology, and I know a lot of Marines who'd like to study her biology.
Oh my God.
Jeanette was the most popular girl at the University of Nebraska, which is a remarkable accomplishment since she went to the University of Oklahoma.
A lot to unpack there.
Wow.
There's a lot to unpack about the fact that we're having a beauty pageant on board a ship.
It was hardcore. I
Yeah.
think it's easy to say that.
You guys like the jokes?
Oh, the jokes. Yeah, the jokes.
We're very 70s jokes. And if you hear the open of our show, you'll hear I actually had pulled a clip from that episode where he does the biology.
You know what it kind of reminds me of? I just want to say, like, Caleb, I don't know if you're old enough to understand this, but Rob, I'm sure you've seen the movie Shag.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of reminds me of that whole scene where Bridget Fonda is doing the beauty pageant thing in her outfit, and that's what it kind of reminded me of.
You'll have to see that movie, producer Caleb.
Yeah,
Caleb, you have to
I'm in the
watch
blind
Shag.
on this.
Well, you got to rewatch it. Everyone rewatch it.
We're giving some assignments. Shining, Dr.
Shining,
Sleep,
Dr.
Yeah,
Sleep.
we're giving assignments to our people.
and Shaq.
Yeah,
I don't know where this episode's going, guys.
I don't either.
The beauty contest happened there. I saw Marcia Brady, Maureen McCormick, in line.
I did recognize her, but now I know who she is. Thank you.
And she had a strange career. After the Love Boat, she did not go on to many other things. Neither did Greg Brady or really any of them did.
But like, okay, Rob.
Yeah.
From what we know about the Brady Bunch,
Yes.
there was some stuff going on behind the scenes.
So they say.
So they say that may have prevented people from, jump boarding onto other platforms, as you say.
Are you saying drugs, Charlotte?
Well, I mean,
Sex?
drugs, sex, and rock and roll. Always, that's the.
I'll remember when Greg Brady was Johnny Bravo.
Oh God.
Remember that episode?
You are a superstar. You are the new Johnny Bravo.
Johnny Bravo.
Johnny Bravo.
Johnny Bravo.
Johnny Bravo.
Oh, you're out of sight, baby. You're out of sight.
Did that really sound all right?
Hang loose and listen.
Hey, Mama. You seen him, you dug him. Now here he is with the beat that's sweet and the jive that's alive. Your very own muchacho, Johnny Bravo.
All right, let's see where the next clip
let's do it.
goes.
Well, Alma's a shoe-in.
Come on, Jeanette's got winter written all over her, and I hope it's in Braille.
What a dick.
I don't know. I'm betting on the sister.
She's not even in the competition.
She may not be in your competition, but she is definitely in mine.
Bartender Isaac once again sees the girl walk by that he was pursuing, jumped on, pretty much assaulted, and now he's going after her again.
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't he? It's the 70s. He's a dude.
He's left his job, his post, to go chase the girl down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well,
Because this is the Love Boat. Everyone leaves their post.
No
Look at the
one
doctor.
works.
The doc literally has socks pulled up to his knees.
and
Who
the captain,
does that?
I don't know that there's another person that steers the boat except the captain. And he's
Is
never.
there anyone that's supposed to steer the boat except the
maybe
captain?
it's an automatic thing. I'm not
That's
sure.
automatic in the 70s?
Oh, if they can cure blindness in the 70s, I'm
Well,
sure
you're
they can
right.
drive
You're
a
okay,
boat.
Caleb.
Well,
Good
unless we
point.
forget
Good point.
automatic, systematic, 70s.
Oh, yeah. Now we're talking about Pointer Sister shit right there. Automatic, systematic. Come on.
Okay. Well, next clip.
It was terrific, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's Vicki Lawrence and Dick Van
It's
Patten.
funny, too, because I came on this cruise to get away from people, and now
Oh, well, listen, everybody needs someone to talk to.
it's just that ever since my relationship with Nikki,
Good answer? I'm sorry.
I haven't had a moment's peace since that story broke. My entire life is being examined and re-examined, investigated, probed. No one's life can live up to that kind of scrutiny.
We all make mistakes.
I never said I made a mistake. Look, how would you feel if right now on this ship there was a reporter watching us, together holding hands?
He's going to kiss her.
I hope so.
He did.
Saw me kissing you. Tomorrow, the headlines would say Congressman and his conquest seen living it up on a love boat.
He said the thing. He said
Conquest.
He said the title of the series. He said the thing. It's never been said before.
Which was
Love Boat.
Oh, that's very
he
true,
said-
actually,
Well,
Caleb.
hold
He
on.
said Love Boat.
I'm going to reveal something to you.
Uh-oh. Am I going to get fact checked?
Oh, no.
No, you're not. We started with season 1, episode 1.
Well, yeah, that's where normal people start.
Maybe they don't, Charlotte, because there was actually a pilot episode I neglected to put on our roster for.
Oh my gosh, I feel totally neglected at this point.
And in that episode, Meryl Stubing boards, and I think it's Julie, or it was the doc, says, "Welcome to the Love Boat, Captain." And he goes, "This is not a love boat." And he just reprimands them. But
So
perhaps,
I've been living a lie.
Well, I'm living the lie, producer Caleb. We will go back on some special episode and we'll watch the pilot.
Okay.
But we've got our work to do right now.
We have our work to do right now. Yes, exactly.
And that means the next clip.
Now, to see how she thinks on her feet, we'll ask each young woman to answer one completely impromptu question. Jeanette.
Oh, yes.
In 15 seconds, please tell us, what is your goal in life?
Oh, well, I would like to bring all the people in the whole world together so that they can live together in harmony and they can love together forever. Do I have any time left?
2 seconds.
Together.
Thank you.
Isn't that like the normal like beauty pageant response is to be like, world peace, save all the animals, save all the trees, bring people together. And I don't like how we said we're going to ask these girls this question to see how quickly they can think on their feet. Let me tell you, bitches can think on their fucking feet.
Yes.
But if they're being portrayed as like a dumb blonde stereotype,
they still can think on their feet.
I agree. They can. So we saw the blonde woman, or heard the blonde woman that was just giving this horrible answer, apparently not thinking very well.
Together.
Yes.
Together.
That was one of the replacements for Suzanne Summers on Three's Company.
Get out of here.
She played Nurse Terry on Three's Company when Suzanne Summers left.
But Suzanne Summers is so cute. Is so
She
much
was.
cuter.
And we've seen her on this show. We've seen
We have.
John Ritter already
Of
in the
course we have.
season one of the show. And this was Priscilla Barnes was
Okay.
her name. And Nurse Terry she played. So she lived in the apartment with Jack and Janet.
Got it.
Yes.
Love that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
70s kind of FYI stuff. Onward.
Jeanette, you called for me?
this is the manager of the fashion show.
What's the emergency?
Oh, Waldo.
Oh.
I can't get my zipper done up.
You called me for a zipper? Why didn't you call one of the girls?
Well, you're in charge, aren't you? Oh, please. I have a little itch right in the middle of my back. Could you scratch it for me, please?
This girl can think on her feet.
There we go.
She's batting her eye.
He looks very uncomfortable.
Lower.
Lower?
Well, maybe he's
Lower.
Oh, Jeanette, you're making me crazy.
What? I'm surprised at you.
And she just sucks him in the face.
What kind of a girl do you think I am? While you burst in here while I'm half naked and try to take advantage of me.
Go, girl.
What the hell kind
Punch
of
that
affect
dude.
was that?
Okay, what we saw was she had her zipper down and she asked the manager to come and help zip her up, and then, as you heard, she had a scratch. So he started scratching lower and lower down the back until he just went too horny, and he just basically just
hugged her from
behind. Her. Oh, no, just hugged her. He squeezed her. He was not letting her go.
He popped a chub while he was scratching her back. Yeah, it's totally safe to say that's what happened.
And then she freaked out and just socked him. Nice little punch to the jaw.
But that's also kind of like mean of her, though.
Oh, she played him, and then she did.
she totally
what kind of a girl do you think? What was that?
Well, what kind of girl do you think I am? I just asked you to like fix my zipper in the back of my dress and scratch my back.
What was she wanting to have happen?
What was she going for there?
know.
Like I'm confused.
At one point, I thought maybe she was recording things, like she could play it back.
Recording is 1978, Rob. She's not recording anything.
Well, they have very large,
You think she has her
tape
iPhone
recorders.
out? You think she has her iPhone out and like fucking FaceTime or some shit. It's 1978.
Have you ever heard of Watergate?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Would be a very large recording device, yes.
Dude, it would take up the whole room. It would take up a whole wall.
That's true. But, okay, but I'm still confused. I think we all are left by this scene confused.
I think what she did is she brought him in there because he's a manager of the freaking pageant in order to win. She knows exactly what she's doing.
Honestly, I don't know
Right?
either, but that's a very good point. That's probably what they were.
She knows exactly what she's doing. She's a badass bitch.
But where was the point of no return for her?
The point of no return was like she didn't really want to hook up with him, but she wants to win the pageant.
So she wanted to go up to the point of really like teasing him and then say,
Yeah, of course. That's what girls do. Yeah.
and punch the dude right in the face.
Well, I would never do that, but I mean, that's what she chose to do.
It's an interesting way to go.
It is.
It was that
Not
important.
the best way to go.
No,
But
not
you know
the
what? She may win.
Well, there's one clip left.
I will say this clip I think is probably it's the heaviest one.
Oh, great. Let's do it.
Producer Caleb, is this heavier than the priest with the boys in the bathtub?
Oh my God.
No.
Oh my God, that episode.
Nothing will ever
Jesus.
All right.
And the fact that he adopted one of them after. God almighty. That's like a fucking Dateline.
He
if I've
took
ever
him
heard
down to
one.
Mexico.
Oh my God.
I think he married them.
No, that's a different story. That was the old man and the stowaway child who he adopted.
I can't. I remember that one.
You're confusing the
remember
old
that.
man and the child story. That's happened too frequently on this show.
Great.
A couple more episodes.
There's
we'll
lots
be-
of old men adopting young girls on this show.
and boys. And last scene from this episode 17, season 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the talent contest and the final judging. This is part of the competition which allows our judges to see a different facet of our young ladies, the ability to be in the spotlight.
We're the beavers.
The
They'll
beavers?
spare lives. Where the squirrels hid their acorns. He talked with them wherever he met them, and he called them Hiawatha's brothers.
Okay, one, I want to say that this bitch is dressed like a native, and
Yes.
that really fucking upsets me.
I was.
I mean, she's a blonde bitch
shocked.
with like a feather cap on. Like,
Right.
no, we're not gonna do. Like, really?
They did that. They went there. And then to make it worse, she was acting out a native story. I'm assuming, or just very badly.
And acting out a
attempted it.
native story very badly.
Like she's the klutz. That's her
Girl,
role. Like,
let me tell you right now, if you're listening and you are a white person and you dress up as a native on a Halloween, go yourself.
yeah, I don't know if
Like,
that's
go yourself.
Well, okay, let's get past that.
I mean, really.
So the girls that were also in the competition were watching her, like shaking their heads, like, "What an asshole!"
Of course they were.
Because she was
is
just
an
doing this kind
asshole.
of dumb blonde thing of just saying stupid shit, but also of appropriating Native Americans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't believe they did that.
If you go to Coachella with a feather cap, yourself. Like, literally, I saw that all the time I lived in LA.
Okay, this happens in a later episode of The Love Boat.
Okay.
The village people join the cruise.
That's rather progressive that they have the village people join
Well,
the
they started
cruise.
doing a play towards open society on The Love Boat.
Well, I like that idea.
You'll see, and there's some great episodes coming up. I think I mentioned this one when Gopher's buddy from college comes back, and it's now a girl, although it's Mackenzie Phillips. I've mentioned this one before. And then the doc brings a friend from college, and he's like, "Hey, let's go out." And the dude's like, "Oh, I can't. I don't feel good tonight. I'm with my cousin here." And the cousin was
Now, Mackenzie Phillips is a half sister to China Phillips, correct?
Yes.
Of Wilson Phillips fame. Got it.
slept with her daddy.
I think that is a whole different episode. I read
That's
the
not
book.
funny.
Got it. I read all kind of books.
Good Lord.
I'm a knowledge freak. I'm literally a dork. You guys don't know. Like I read everything.
We all kind of are, and that's why we're here reviewing
I know, that's why we are,
episodes
yeah.
of The Love Boat.
Yeah.
Right.
We've even
like my
recruited-
boyfriend every day is like, I love the biggest dork on the planet. I'm like, yes, you do. Like I'm literally the biggest dork.
Okay, that's you.
Me,
Okay.
100%.
Good. I'm just-
I am a dork.
Okay. Well, that's it. Episode 17. We're a lot of episodes in on this show. I don't know where this unwieldy journey is going to deliver us from one week to the
Hopefully
next.
not another priest episode.
Hopefully not another one of those.
True.
Oh my gosh.
Well, everybody, thank you in the
Thank
listening
you.
audience. Thanks for letting us jam 2 episodes into our single episode. And we will be back next week.
Make sure you like, subscribe, share with a friend. We'll see you next week.
We're sailing away, but we will be back with a new episode of Crime Cruise, Love Boat Exposed. Make sure to subscribe. We're on all your favorite podcast platforms. And connect with us at loveboatexposed.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure, but I have duties on the bridge. Good evening.